For 30 years, the deal with a Jackie Chan movie was simple. He grins, he improvises with a ladder, and you grin back. Then in 2004, he came home to Hong Kong, picked up a whiskey bottle instead of a prop, and played a broken man his own age. No joke. This is New Police Story, the film where the world's friendliest action star decided to stop smiling. So let's buckle up and go on this ride together, shall we? And let's set the scene. By the early 2000s, Jackie Chan had conquered America. Rush Hour, Shanghai Noon, the lot. But conquering came at a cost. He'd been stuck fumbling English one-liners next to young co-stars, and then came the spectacular flop of Around the World in 80 Days. The man who'd once thrown himself off a clock tower for real was in danger of becoming a friendly Hollywood mascot. So can you blame him for wanting to come home? So he did. A New Police Story marks Jackie's return to Hong Kong cinema, reuniting him with director Benny Chan. And here's the clever part. It's the fifth Police Story film, but it's not really a sequel. It's a hard reboot. Out went the goofy, indestructible super cop Kevin Chan. In came a grittier, darker register the series had never tried before. And hold on to that word, darker, because it's the whole reason this film exists. So what could possibly go wrong, right? Now there's one catch with this movie, and it's the deal with the devil at the centre of the production. The film was an Emperor Entertainment Group showcase, which meant Jackie shared the screen with a roster of labels' young pop idols. Nicholas Tse, Charlene Choi of the Twins, and Daniel Wu. A legend surrounded by teen heartthrobs. It could have been a vanity disaster, but somehow it mostly wasn't. So let's go through the plot, shall we, and spoiler alert from here on out. We open on rock bottom. Inspector Chan Kwok Wing, that's Jackie Chan, well, he's a falling down drunk in an alleyway, a million miles from the polished super cop they're expecting to see on screen. Then we rewind a year to see how a hero became shattered. And the villains here are the Engine, and they're nasty. A gang of 5 rich bored kids who rob banks not for money, but for sport. They literally call the police to come die, turning cop killing into a real-life video game complete with a scoreboard. Their leader is Joe, played by Daniel Wu, all sneer and damage. When the cocky Inspector Chan boasts on live TV that he'll catch them in 3 hours, the gang springs a trap and methodically slaughters his entire 10-man squad, including his girlfriend's own brother. Only Chan survives. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how you break a man. Now cut back to the present and enter Frank, Nicholas Tse, a relentlessly upbeat young officer who drags the drunken, guilt-rotted Chan back to his feet. The mismatched pair set out to dismantle the gang one sadistic member at a time, chasing them through BMX parks, across rooftops and, well, in the franchise's signature nod, onto a runaway double-decker bus, Jackie dangling and dodging street signs exactly as he did 20 years before. Then comes the twist that gives the whole thing its sour, tragic kick. Frank, the chirpy sidekick, well, he's secretly the brother of one of those team members killed in Jackie's team. So, from the inside out, he's dealing with his own grief here. And the gang's leader, Joe, well, he's the son of a senior abusive police chief. These aren't misunderstood rebels so much as wounded sons taking it out on the badge. It all converges on the Hong Kong Convention Centre and a now famous brawl in a Lego store. Before Chan corners Joe with the line that lands like a verdict, "You don't hate the police, you hate your father and yourself." Joe, hauled out, raises an empty gun at the approaching officers and is shot down in front of his father. Chan gets his redemption, but nobody feels good about it. Roll the credits. So here's my honest take. And as you know with these reviews, you know which pivot we're going for. Every rose has its thorns. A New Police Story is the sound of Jackie Chan reaching for something heavier than he'd ever tried. And the reach is genuinely moving, even when his grasp does slip a little bit. And let's be straight about the thorns in this movie, because there are a few. The film is glossy where the originals were raw, with CGI and explosions standing in for some of the practical mayhem of the old movies. The villains are written halfway between tragic and cartoonish, and the young cast, well bless them, they do overact in places, all flailing arms and pop idol smolder, and Jackie's dramatic acting, while braver than ever, still tips into the sweaty, over-emphatic register that's followed him his whole career. His big emotional beats can land more embarrassing than affecting at times in this movie. And the two female leads, including the returning Charlie Young, are stuck in thankless, look-worried roles. This is not subtle filmmaking. But here's why it works anyway. The action when it arrives is the real thing. The bus set piece and that Lego store fight with Andy on are top tier. And the film took home Best Action Choreography at the Golden Horse Awards for the Jackie Chan stunt team. At 50 years old, Jackie isn't doing the suicidal stunts of his youth, but he's working hard, and the choreography earns its keep. And the central idea, an action icon finally agreeing to play his age, to be tired and frightened, is quietly radical for him. And when it connects, it connects. And now the real-world drama that I promised you, which makes this film fascinating in hindsight. So first, the actors in this movie. Daniel Wu actually won the Golden Horse for Best Supporting Actor as the villain Joe in this movie, a result even contemporary critics found quite generous. But it marked him as a serious talent, and he's since become a genuine leading man on two different continents. And then there's Nicholas Tse. Watch this happy-go-lucky young cop and remember, Tse trained under a member of Jackie Chan's own stunt team before this, and he'd go on to shed the pop idol image entirely, winning the Hong Kong Film Award for Best Actor in 2010 and becoming one of the most respected action men of his generation. The mentor-protege dynamic on screen turned out to be real, and the ultimate proof? Well, 2 decades later, a new Police Story 2 film was announced, with Tse not just returning, but stepping up to direct, on Jackie's own advice. The kid the critics sneered at as label filler in 2004 is now the one calling the shots. So, let's actually put a rating on this movie now, shall we? And we'll go through our 4 different criteria, as we always do. Action choreography. Knockdown. The bus stunt and the Lego store fight are excellent. Award-winning work. It misses the top tier because the glossy CGI and heavier cutting dilute the raw practical magic of the original Police Story movies. Story and characters? Well, I'd say this is grazed at best. It's ambitious and genuinely dark, but the melodrama is thick, the villains wobble between tragic and cartoonish, and the women are just wasted in this movie. Star power and performance? Let's say this is connected. Jackie's playing his age gamble is brave enough and affecting. Daniel Wu and Nicholas Tse bring real presence, held back by the overacting all round, to be honest. And legacy and rewatchability, again, let's give this a connected rating. A notable pivot point, Jackie's homecoming and his real first attempt at drama, and a fun rewatch at times, but not the untouchable classic the early films are. So overall verdict for New Police Story, I'm going to say that this is connected. It's not a strict average overall across the different categories, but it's a judgment call. The action wants to drag it up towards a knockdown, and the soapy script and uneven performances kind of pull it back. It lands a real solid blow, a polished, entertaining, surprisingly heavy film, but it telegraphs that punch through a lot of melodrama. Measured against most action movies, it's a winner. Measured against Police Story 1 and 2, it's the respectable younger sibling here. So, what did you think of New Police Story? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Let me know. Cheers, and here's to the next one.